Yes, guys, just check out once. Some issue. Ha, yeah, got it. It's solved. Yes, perfect. Perfect, perfect. Yes, I'm proceeding now. So let's discuss now about SQC and 220. There are two standards: standard on quality control and 220. So both let us discuss now both. This is actually part of quality control topic. This is actually part of quality control topic. I hope every one of you are aware of quality control topic, which is there in your ICA book as a part of 11th chapter. 11th chapter is ethics and terms of engagement. Inside that, ethics discussion is there, terms of engagement, which is nothing but SA 210 discussion is there, then SQC and 220, two standards were discussed. This is third part, nothing but quality control part in that chapter. Now, this ethics and terms of engagement is already covered, immediately after nature, objective and scope of audit discussion, ethics and terms of engagement. Then only we discussed audit report topic, which is already covered as part of part 1 audit marathon. Now, this SQC and 220, now we will discuss. Now, so what are the two standards? Both are dealing with quality control. Both are dealing with quality control. SQC is also a quality control standard. SA 220 is also a quality control standard. SQC is applicable for firms, audit firms. It is not applicable for auditor, or no, it is not dependent upon engagement. It is applicable for the firm. Where the firm is providing audit services, assurance, related services, review, anything. The firm might be providing audit, review, other assurance and related, doesn't matter. It is applicable for the firms. So SQC is applicable for all types of engagements, whereas 220 is only applicable for audit engagements. We know very well, even in the nature, objective and scope of audit revision, I clearly spoke about, whatever works that we provide are broadly classified into two types, assurance engagement, non-assurance engagement. We provide again assurance on historical financial information other than historical financial information. On historical financial information, we provide reasonable assurance, limited assurance. Reasonable assurance, if at all we are providing on historical, then that is addressed by standards on auditing, whereas limited assurance is addressed by standards on review. Other than historical financial information is addressed by standards on assurance engagement, and non-assurance is nothing but related services, standards on related services. Remember, at CA interlevel, we only have discussion about standards on auditing. We don't have standards on review, we don't have standards on assurance, we don't have standards on related services. Just 1 minute. Yeah, so we don't have standards on related services in our syllabus. We only have standards on auditing. That within standards on auditing, some 6 to 7 standards we don't have syllabus at all in CA Inter. We only have it in CA Final. So anyhow, at final level, we'll be discussing the pending standards. Now, what is this SQC? SQC is applicable for entire firm. SA 220 is applicable for a specific audit engagement. So I'm performing audit of one company for a particular financial year, statutory audit, general purpose financial statements audit. SA 220 is applicable for that. Actually, SQC talks about firm shall establish policies and procedures. SQC talks about every firm, every CA firm, whether it's a proprietary concern, partnership firm, whether it's an LLP, okay, so whether a CA is practicing individually or practicing as a partnership firm, doesn't matter. They both are considered as they both are considered as firms, audit firms. Audit firms must have quality control policies and procedures. Audit firms must have system of quality control. So that rule is prescribed under SQC. SA 220 says, whatever quality control system is developed, right, the firm shall develop quality control system, right? The firm shall develop the quality control system. That fact is mentioned under SQC. The firm should implement it in audit. The firm should implement quality control system in audit. Implementation part is covered under 220. That's the basic difference between SQC and 220. SQC talks about establishing the policies and procedures, establishing the quality control system, whereas 220 talks about implementing that quality control system in the audit engagement. That's the basic difference between SQC and 220. I hope you're clear now. Now, what do you mean by quality control? You see the heading of SQC. SQC is what? Quality control for firms. What the firm is doing? It is performing audit, review of historical financial information and other assurance they are providing, and they are also providing related services engagement. So the firm is providing audit, the firm is providing review, the firm is providing other assurance service, and the firm is also providing related services. So whether the firm is providing any of this doesn't matter. Quality control standard is applicable. Now what SQC is saying, SQC simply says one thing: establish quality control system. So what is exactly a quality control system? Very simple. You remember Domino's, you remember KFC, you remember any McDonald's. You see Domino's pizza, whether you have it in India, whether you have it outside India, everywhere the menu is same, everywhere the pizza is same, everywhere the making process is same. So that is why wherever you go and have a Domino's pizza, the taste is same. Why? That's a quality control, because Domino's has standardized the way how to make a pizza. Pizza making process is standardized. Why the standardized? To give same taste, same experience to the customer at any place in the world. Yeah, whenever you come and buy the pizza, it will taste exactly the same. 95% accuracy they will achieve. That's a quality control, nothing but. Same way, we chartered accountants, whenever we are performing audit, whenever we perform the audit, wherever we perform the audit, whatever the client, doesn't matter, we must achieve quality in the audit. So the audit that we are performing must be qualitative. For that reason, we have to establish certain policies and procedures, standard operating practices, standard operating policies, system of quality control we should establish. Okay, where and all we should establish system of quality control. The standard identify totally 6 areas. The standard identifies totally 6 areas where quality control policies has to be established. Leadership responsibility, one element of quality control. Ethical requirements, another element of quality control. Acceptance and continuation of client relationship. Human resources. Performing the engagement. You see, they are not using the word audit. They are using the word engagement. In entire SQC, they don't use the word audit, review like that. They use only the word engagement mostly. And monitoring. So there are totally 6 elements of quality control. 1, leadership. The firm top management should accept the responsibility for overall audit. 2, the ethical requirements. The firm shall establish policies so that the firm and the team members will comply with ethics. Whatever work they are doing, they should comply with ethics. Acceptance and continuation. How to accept a client, which client should be accepted, which client should not be accepted. There must be a policy on which client will be accepted, which client will not be accepted. The firm should establish policies and procedures. And human resources, how many staff the firm shall have, all that. Engagement, performance monitoring. Let's discuss one by one. So what is the objective of the standard? Very simple. The objective is very simple. The firm shall establish a quality control system. Quality control system is also called as policies and procedures. Why you need to establish? So that to ensure that compliance with standards, compliance with law and regulation, and reports that the firm issuing is appropriate, where engagement risk is low. The reports issued by the firm for various kinds of works which they are accepting, the reports given must be right, the reports given must be appropriate, which means engagement risk must be low. The quality control system. The quality control system consists of policies and procedures to achieve these objectives. So automatically the policies and procedures nothing but consist of these what are all rules and regulations the firm and the staff, everybody shall follow to achieve these objectives. That's it. Next, 1 minute. Yeah, perfect. See, if at all any of you who are watching this in the live, if at all in between if some issue comes, don't worry, just refresh it, it will work. Okay, that's it. Now, and remember, these quality control systems policies must be documented, and it must be communicated by the firm to all its staff, partners, articles, paid assistants, to everybody. Now let's discuss each and every element. Now let us discuss each and every element. What are the elements of quality control? Most important element in quality control is acceptance and continuation of client relationship. This point you will once again see in audit engagement, audit strategy, audit planning, audit program topic. Just a minute. I think everything is proper. Just 1 minute. Be online. Streaming bitrate is proper. Everything is proper. Yeah, I think it is good. It's proper, right? Just 1 minute. Let Can somebody confirm me whether you're able to, I mean, is it smooth? Okay, fine, as a whole. Yeah. So very occasionally in the live, no, very rare it lag, but again it will saturate immediately. So kindly just follow that. Fine. Okay. So the one most important element in quality control is acceptance and continuation of client relations. So when a client comes, new client, what points the firm shall consider? Suppose if main partner is not there, another partner has to confirm the client whether the client is accepted or not. So what points they should check? This point is once again covered as part of preliminary engagement activities. This point is once again covered in preliminary engagement activity in one of the chapter audit strategy planning program. So acceptance and preliminary engagement activities will consist of one of the activity, that is nothing but this acceptance. So what firm has to do before accepting a client or before you continue an existing client, the firm must gather important information. What information? First one, integrity of the client. So check whether the client is honest or not. What do you mean by integrity? Integrity of the client. What matters you will consider in integrity? This itself can be asked as a 4 marks question. Straight away, integrity of the client matters to be considered, like integrity of client principal owners, key management, top management, those charged with governance, client business practices and operations, how are they? What is the attitude of the client towards accounting standard? Are there any pressures on the firm to reduce the fee? Is there any scope limitation? Involvement in money laundering activities? Why are they changing the auditor? Why previous auditor is not reappointed? These are all points you should consider. You should ask the client. You should get that information before you accept him or before you give consent for continuation. Remember, acceptance and continuation of client relationship means what? Acceptance means what? Acceptance means new client. Continuation means we are talking about existing client. That's it. Now, so integrity of the client you need to consider. Second one, you should consider your competence. See, many clients will approach you tomorrow, but you can't accept them just for the sake of money. You should know whether you can do that work or not. Also, you must check your competence levels, your capability, your time and resources. Do you have enough time so that you can deliver that work? Do you have enough staff members so to perform the engagement? And compliance with ethical requirements before you accept whether are you ethically fit or not. Because for example, a company client want to appoint you as a statutory auditor. See whether are you eligible, qualified and not disqualified or not. You should only check. And what are all various ethical requirements we will discuss in CA final. We have something called professional ethics in CA final. There is something called CA Act is there we will be discussing. And the firm shall document how these issues are resolved while accepting or continuing a client relationship. So when you are accepting and continuing, when you are doing this entire, you are gathering information about the client, you are checking the competence, capability. If any issues arises in this, okay, how did you resolve it? That also firm has to document. Then now remember, if any conflict is there between the firm and client, suppose my relative has some shares in the company, that's a conflict. It must be resolved before accepting the engagement. If firm gets any information after accepting the engagement, I accepted now, we started audit, now we got to know some information that could have affected the decision regarding acceptance. If at all I know this information earlier itself, I would have declined this work. Then what the firm has to do? The firm should assess legal and professional responsibilities, including reporting to relevant authorities and possibility of withdrawal from the engagement or from the client relationship. So if at all firm we gave acceptance to the client, yes sir, we are ready. Now we started auditing also. Now we got to know that one of the partner has shares in the company. If at all we know this information earlier, we would have not accepted this client itself. Now what firm has to do? Consider legal obligations right now. Consider professional obligations right now. See whether you have to report it to anybody or not. See whether withdrawal is withdrawal required or not. Is it from the engagement you withdraw or from client itself you withdraw? Check out. So this itself was asked for 3 or 4 marks question many a times. Okay, so that's it. Integrity of the client, this itself can be asked. Acceptance and continuation of client relationship, this itself can be asked as a 4 marks question. Very important. Then human resources. So what is human resources? Every firm, tomorrow your opening practice, you have to establish policies and procedures so that you will have a reasonable assurance that firm has sufficient persons with the capability, competence, ethical principles to perform engagements in accordance with standard. You must establish policies and procedures in your organization in such a way that you have staff member who are competent, who are capable, so that whatever works your firm is accepting, they can perform it competently. And you must develop an HR policy. The HR policy shall address recruitment, how to recruit articles, how to compensate them, how to train them, how to develop their career, and performance evaluation, how to evaluate their performance. You must have HR policies like that. And you must focus, the firm policies and procedures relating to HR must focus on continuous development of the personnel. Like some firms, they'll have a policy. Every Saturday, full day, seminars will be conducted, updates will be discussed, like that. So one day they will dedicate for training of their staff, like that. So that's a policy for them. So the firm shall establish policies and procedures for HR. HR policy shall address 3 issues like this. That's it. I hope you're clear. And engagement performance of the work, like you accepted audit, you accepted review, you accepted some related service, whatever the work you accepted, to perform that work you must have some policies and procedures. So you remember, consistency in engagement can be achieved by briefing the teams on objectives, what are the standards applicable, supervising them, training them, and performance review methods. Like whenever your team member is working, you need to review them, how are they working, all that. Consultation must take place. Remember, whenever we are working, like a team member is working in a firm, so many teams will be there. I am part of one of the team member, and I was given some audit work in one of the client. So when I'm doing this audit, I got some doubts. Whom should I consult? I should consult either a senior, I should consult partner. If at all even still my doubt is not resolved, I should consult somebody within the firm. Even if my doubt is not resolved, I should consult externally somebody. Such a kind of consultation facilities must be there. So consultation must take place for resolving difficult or complex matters with individuals inside the firm or outside the firm. External consultation may be required from others, other firms, professional bodies for advisory services. So when you are performing the work, policies and procedures must be implemented in such a way that policies and processes must address various issues like briefing the team members, engagement standards, supervision, training, all that. And consultation must take place on difficult matters, all that. External consultation may be sought for any complex matters and all. And remember, engagement quality control review, this is most important in this. In engagement performance, most important point is this 8th point, engagement quality control review. What is engagement quality control review? See, whenever we are doing any works, significant judgments will be there. Wherever in any work that you are doing, especially in audit, if any significant assumptions, significant judgments have been taken by the partners, by the auditor, the significant judgments must be reviewed by a quality control reviewer, okay, before issuing the report. Remember, quality control review, engagement quality control review must happen before the report is issued. Now, to what extent reviewer will review, it depends upon complexity involved, risk involved in that engagement. In that audit engagement or in that engagement, what is the complexity, what is the risk? Depending upon that, the review will be happening. If the risk is very low, complexity is very low, review might be happening within 2 days. If the risk is high, complexity, the review might increase. Next. Now remember, if the review does not reduce partner's responsibility, remember, I am the one who is signing the audit report ultimately. Just because a reviewer is coming and reviewing, my responsibility will not reduce. This is just like a precaution. Before I give my report, I will ask reviewer. So what is engagement quality control review? In audit, I will tell you. Very simple. I am the partner and I have some team members. We have conducted some audit of a company for 40 days. Over, where I concluded that unqualified opinion shall be given. But before I give my report, I will ask my another partner of the firm. I have partner, another partner is there. He is not my team member. He's just another partner. I appointed for my audit as a quality control reviewer. I appointed him as a quality control reviewer. What he need to do? He will check my documentation working paper. He will go through entire work what I am doing. He will check whether anywhere I am taking wrong decision and all. He will verify all my important decisions and all. And he will also see. He will ask me, Harsha, what you decided? I tell him, sir, I decided to give unqualified opinion. Then he will also check my working papers and tell me whether my opinion of unqualified, which I concluded, is it correct or not. He will discuss and then tell me. He will just review and then tell me. Once he gives, okay, Harsha, you can proceed. Your conclusions, your work, your everything, your report, everything is proper. He told me. Then I will proceed and give unqualified opinion. So before I give a report to a client and third party, my entire work will be reviewed by somebody. So this is for a better quality control. Now, and remember, engagement quality control review is mandatory for audit of listed entities. Which engagement audit? That for which clients? Listed clients. For listed clients, if a firm is doing audit, then the partner shall not issue audit report without completing engagement quality control review. So EQCR is must for all audits of listed entities. For other engagements, sir, non-listed company audit, sir, it's a review engagement, sir, not audit, sir. For them, whether a quality control review is there, it will be firm's choice. Firm will develop the quality control review criteria. Now, sir, okay, sir, the partner quality control reviewer came, sir. He reviewed entire work, sir. The quality control reviewer told my audit report is not correct. I should not give unqualified opinion. Whereas I am feeling unqualified, sir. He is saying qualified opinion. Now there is a difference between us. What to do? Any disagreement between the team members, between the reviewer and partner, it shall be resolved before issuing the report. Suppose if reviewer, he recommending qualified opinion for me, whereas I decided unqualified is correct. If his recommendations are not accepted by partner, as a partner I am not okay with his recommendation, then the matter shall be resolved by policies and procedures, by consulting another practitioner or by consulting another firm or professional body. So see, if there is a conflict between the partner and reviewer, if there is a conflict, whose decision will prevail? Both of you will not fight. Firm quality control policies will be there. Inside that, what they are saying, what rule is there, follow that rule. That's it. Then the most important, documentation. The firm must establish policies for documentation also. Remember, so the firm must establish policies and procedures for timely assembly of final engagement file. You see here they are not using the word audit. In audit documentation chapter, you will see the word final audit file. Here you will see the word final engagement file. This engagement may be audit, this engagement may be review, this engagement may be related service, anything. Correct? Especially assembly of audit file. For audit cases, assembly must be completed within 60 days after issuing the audit report. Sir, what is assembly? I already covered in audit documentation revision. And remember, the firm must establish policies for maintaining the working papers, documentation, confidentiality, integrity, accessibility, retrievability, and ownership. Remember, the engagement documentation is property of the firm because they are the one who is working upon. So the documentation, whatever they are gathering, is property of the firm. The firm, if they want, at their discretion, may disclose documentation to clients, provided that disclosure does not affect confidentiality, validity of the work performed, all that. And not only that, the documentation, you work so many, you provided so many engagements, right? You worked on some audit, review, all that, right? So some documentation is there, right? How long you should retain it? You should retain it for such a period which is important. The documentation should be retained long enough to perform monitoring. What is monitoring? Monitoring means, I'll tell you very simple. We complete our work, right? Once all the works are completed in this year, at the end of the year, generally what happens, this partner will check all the other partners' works. Other partner will check my works. So this is called monitoring. So until monitoring is completed, documentation must be retained. For audits, the retention must be for 7 years. For audit engagements, typically audit documentation, for audit engagements, the documentation must be written minimum for 7 years from the date of auditor's report, or if later, group auditor's report. So either the audit report date or group audit report date. Group audit report means consolidated financial statements will be there, right? From that audit report date, whichever is later. Monitoring. The firm shall establish policies and procedures for monitoring. So why we need to monitor? Monitoring is important to evaluate whether quality control policies are relevant, adequate, and operating effectively. How do we monitor? By doing periodic inspection. Perform inspections of completed engagements. Already some completed works are there, right? Go back, open the works, open the documentation, see whether the work is properly performed or not. See the report issued is properly or not. Once again check it. See, inspection is nothing but, for listed companies, inspection will happen indirectly through engagement quality control review. Once audit report is also given, after that once again they will open and check. That is called inspection as part of monitoring. After the report, if at all review is happening, review of audit documentation is conducted after the report is issued as a part of monitoring, then it's a monitoring. If review of audit report, review of audit documentation is happening before audit report is issued, that's an engagement quality control review. That's it. So perform inspections of completed works to check whether the work is in compliance with quality control system or not. And finally, the first element, leadership responsibility and ethical requirements. Ethical requirements first I will finish. The firm shall establish policies and procedures so that the firm will comply with code of ethics. What is code of ethics? Integrity, objectivity, competence, confidentiality, behavior, independence, all that. Now, the firm shall establish policies so that the firm will maintain independence wherever required. So the policy and procedures shall ensure that the firm shall communicate independence requirement to personnel. So the firm shall have a procedures where they are communicating independence requirements to people. And the firm shall identify and address threats to independence. Withdraw if the threats cannot be eliminated. So there must be a policy on how to address the threat. There must be policy on how to withdraw. For withdrawal also some procedures will be there. That and all in depth will be discussed in CA final. Then engagement partners should report any threats of independence to the firm promptly. So who should do this ethical requirements check everywhere? Engagement partners shall check mainly. So he is the one, he should check whether any ethical requirements are conflicting. If there is a conflict, he must immediately report it to the firm. He must check quality control policies and decide whether to accept or not. Then prompt notification of breaches. If any ethical requirement of breach, immediately the concerned partner, the concerned team member should report to the top management of the firm and obtain written confirmation of compliance with independent policies from all personnel. Every firm shall take a declaration they are engaged in, they complied with ethical requirements. Annually once they should get a written confirmation of compliance with the firm's policies and procedures with independence. Its independence policies, with respect to independence policies, annually one letter has to be obtained. Remember, very important for MCQs and all. Then leadership. SQC1 requires policies and procedures to promote a culture that values high quality. The CEO of the firm, the top partner, managing partner, he must take ultimate responsibility for the quality control system. Leadership should set an example that promotes high quality audit work. The persons responsible for operational quality control must have experience. You know what is meant by operational quality control? The people inside the firm, one or two partners will be given this responsibility of developing policies and procedures. Developing policies and procedures responsibility will be given for some people, some partners. Those people are called as operations personnel. Those people are called as the firm's persons responsible for operational quality control. They must have sufficient experience, sufficient ability, sufficient authority, so that they can develop policies and procedures by in light of various standards on auditing, all that. That's it. So this is also a bit advanced standard. It's not that easy because this requires a discussion of so in depth basically, but since it's a revision, we can't cover all that. Basically whatever is required I covered. Now 220, quality control for an audit of financial statements. Quality control for an audit of financial statements. So what is the scope and objective? 220 says what, engagement partner is responsible for quality control procedures at audit engagement level to comply with the firm's SQC. You see here they are using the word to comply with SQC. So the partner has to ensure that whatever the audit work he is taking responsibility, he must ensure that that is complied as per SQC. So what is the objective of 220? Implementation. SQC objective, establish. SA 220 objective, implementation. Implement quality control policies at engagement level to ensure that audit complies as per standards, audit report is appropriate. So what are the responsibilities of partner? SA 220 outlines responsibilities of the partner. What are the responsibilities? Leadership for quality. What is that? The engagement partner must take responsibility for overall quality, MCQ. The actions of engagement partner in taking responsibility shall emphasize. This itself was asked as 4 marks question many times. The actions of engagement partner when taking responsibility for quality shall emphasize. Engagement partner should behave in such a way where he will demonstrate performing the work that comply with the standards, comply with the firm's quality control policies, ensure that report is appropriate, encourage the team to raise concerns. As a partner, I should tell my team members, please raise any queries and all freely without any fear of reprimand, all that. Getting it? Then ethical requirements. Partner is responsible to identify threats to independence. Whether are there any threats in this audit, independence related threats, and the partner has to eliminate them. If they cannot be eliminated or if safeguards cannot be implemented, the partner has to report it. Reporting by partner to appropriate firm for appropriate actions. What appropriate action? Either eliminate the threat or withdraw from the engagement. Partner is responsible before accepting a client, audit client, ensure the partner has to check whether information we obtained regarding integrity, competence, ethical requirements, significant issues from previous audit, and performance of the work. The engagement partner is the one who will direct the team, who will supervise the team, and he will ensure that the work, the audit complies with the standards. The partner is responsible for performance of an audit as per standards, all that. Review of documentation. What is this review of documentation? There is one question actually. For example, one firm is there, one partner who he's completed entire work, he has to sign the audit report, but while he's coming to office next day to sign the audit report, only audit report signing is pending, he decided to sign on the next day because it's a good day. For example, he died. Another partner, since this partner has already completed the work, he signed the audit report and gave. Is there anything wrong? Yes. before you sign the audit report, the one whoever is signing the audit report, right, he must review documentation before you sign. Review documentation. Why you should review documentation? Ensure that sufficient appropriate evidence has been obtained to support conclusions so that you can issue the audit report. So before audit report is issued, I must review once again entire documentation we gathered, see whether the documentation gathered, see sufficient appropriate evidence is there, conclusions are they appropriate, everything once again you should ensure, and then only you sign the audit report. And see that consultation takes place on difficult issues within the firm or outside the firm. And for audit of listed entities, engagement partner shall ensure that engagement quality control reviewer is appointed, and the partner shall discuss all significant matters with him, not to date the audit report until the review is completed. If difference of opinion arises between the team members, among the team members, between the team members and consulted people, between the partners and reviewer, they shall be resolved as per policies and procedures. Documentation. The engagement partner should document ethical issues identified. What are ethical issues? If any ethical issues are identified, how are they resolved? Independence related conclusions, conclusions reached on acceptance and continuation, consultation related details including scope of consultation, all that. These are all various things that he should document. They may ask you this itself as a 4 marks question, essay 220. Okay, documentation requirement as per 220. That itself they can ask. Write about engagement performance, a 5 marks question they might ask, okay, under 220. Acceptance and continuation, generally they will ask is as part of SQC. In SQC matter is the right same matter that they will ask generally. That's it. So this second point, in this leadership responsibility, actions of engagement partner, this itself can be asked as a 4 marks question. Very important. See, this matter, this SQC topic, quality control topic seems very simple, but this is very complex. It's not that easy to comprehend. Okay, so but since it's a revision session, I tried my level best to bring it in a shortest time where every point is covered in depth. That's it. Okay, so I'm not giving too much of explanation because I assume that you have already been aware of it. So that is the reason initially I took an example of Domino's Pizza, all that. That's it. So with this, quality control topic is completed. Guys, Pakka, I'm telling you, 5 marks possibility is there. Pakka 5 marks possibility is there. Right now, whatever I discussed in the last half an hour, Pakka, mark my word, 5 marks possibility is there. That's it. Once I'm doing paper analysis video, I will once again connect to this particular video. That's it. Okay, so continue with this. Quality control topic is over.